guys, welcome to the shop today. I'm a little scruffy because we've been at the beach for a week down in Brigantine, New Jersey, enjoying the sun and getting a tan. But I wanted to show you a little project guitar that we were working on before I went. It's finished now, and I thought maybe you'd find this interesting. I know some of you guys follow these guitars on Facebook as we're building them. This one we didn't really talk about, but I wanted you to see it. It's a telly design, basically a telly shape, a Telecaster kind of shape. Although I did modify it a little bit. It's got these holes in it. I don't know if you can see that, but see, it's got holes. It's a hollow body. Well, a semi-hollow body because there's a center block going through it. Mahogany back and a black walnut top. I kind of used a little bit of live edge here to get this color. There's no dye on it or anything. That's the color of the wood. And otherwise, it's a pretty much standard telly. It's got Fender Mexican pickups in it. And we did have this. I don't know if this will show up on the camera. We kind of did this little thing here where we put lights in it. I don't know if you can see that. I'll hold that up to the camera. Maybe you see that. See, it's got silly little blinking lights in there. Can you see that? If I hold it like this, you see there's little blinking lights going on all over the place. I'll hold that closer, you can see. Take a look. See that? This thing lights up like a Christmas tree. And I thought maybe you'd be interested in hearing how we did that. So this wasn't really hard to do, and I don't want to give the impression that we have like a big factory or anything. We don't. I got a regular wood shop like everybody else has, with a bandsaw and a circular saw and a Dremel and all that kind of stuff. You know, the typical router. But this isn't rocket science. You know, the neck is the hardest part, and you can buy those. You know, if you don't want to do fretting and figure out where all the frets go, and I've done that, and it is a pain in the neck. Shaping a neck, you know, it's not that easy to make that shape if you don't know what you're doing. So you can buy those necks. You can find them on eBay. If you buy a $25 neck, you're going to buy yourself $100 worth of trouble. So, you know, if you spend around $100, you get a decent neck. And I get them from a factory out in California. The hardware, the pickups and stuff are up to you how much you want to spend. I try to put pretty decent pickups in, so it's a Fender design. I went with Fender pickups. You know, you can go fancy and, you know, drop $300 for Lawlers or something, but totally up to you. The hardware I all had in my parts box. You know what I mean? Part of my deal was I wanted to use up some of the spare parts I had. So I had these tuners from Telly, the 2-pin tuners. You don't need a screw. You just drill a couple of holes in the head and that locks the tuner in. And a regular 6-pole Telecaster bridge. I had the pickups, like I said, from a Mexican Telecaster, and I put a Les Paul switch in because that's what I had, and I put a push button in for the LEDs. That's just like a regular latching on-off push button, no big deal. The LEDs are RGB pulse and flash LEDs. You can buy them. You can buy like 100 of them for $10. And then the rest was all woodwork. I built the body from scratch. And what I did was I took book matched 2 pieces of mahogany that were about 7 inches wide. Joined them down the middle and glued it together. But before I did that, I kind of traced out the Telecaster shape from another telly that we had around the shop. I just traced it. You know, no template or anything. You go around it with a pencil. And then I cut each half out on a bandsaw. Matched them up, they look pretty decent. And then I used a router to see, oh look, and see it lights up in the back too. I put a plexi plate on there so you can see the lights. And I left extra wire so it looks like it's all complicated in there, but that's just surplus wire. I probably should have cut that out of there, but it looked cool having a bunch of wire jammed in there. So anyway, what we did was we routed the body out, hollowed out everything except the center block, which made it easier to clamp up, by the way, because we don't have a ton of big clamps. So you use regular clamps. And we clamped the 2 sides together. Then I traced that onto this rather large piece of walnut that we had, and that was a good, you know, that was 13 inches wide. So I ended up gluing a little bit on, just a little piece here to make it look even, and capped it with that, and then we routed it all out and cut these silly holes in the top and all that so that the lights can come through. Put the lights in before I put the cap on, so if anything goes wrong with those lights, forget it, you can't fix it. Anyway, this is build number 22, and then in the last 2 years, getting kind of good at this shit. Here, let me play it for you. Let you hear what it sounds like. Okay. I went looking for the strap because I put the strap locks on it, Dunlop strap locks. So you got to pull a little button out like that to put it on, you know. It gets a big horn right there, but I don't really need a strap to sit. Well, you know what I do need is a tuning. I haven't tuned this thing yet. I recommend you all go out and get one of these snark tuners. These little snark tuners. They're great. You pop them right on there, and for you beginners, they got a meter on there, so you don't have to have the killer to tune up, you know. I actually played this thing at a Freedom Palooza this weekend, this past weekend, and out in a thunderstorm. The flashing lights were the perfect thing to have. I'm just using a standard tuning, EADGBE. There we go. Check it out. See what you think. This is the bridge pickup, or the neck pickup here. Bridge pickup. Its own little Leslie effect in there. I don't know. Maybe it's because of the hollow body thing. You can hear the lights every once in a while. Just like little elves screaming in the distance. I like it. It's cool. Blues approved guitar. Hey, if you need one, give us a call, all right? You can check us out online at royaljam.com. Royal Jam like the King's Jelly. royaljam.com. Check us out on Facebook. We'll see you next time, guys.